David's midas karas lahu v'chol. It's a Gemara that David HaMelech called the Torah's midas. Let me give you the background first, and then you'll understand this to get us a Kiddush. The background is that David HaMelech ran away from Eretz Yisrael because Shaul wanted to kill him. And he was in a very, very desperate situation. He was lonely. Many of his members of family were killed. All kinds of tzaras. And he was depressed. So he learned Torah. And Torah gave him joy. And he said, the pasuk Zmires Hayelu Chokecha. Torah gave me Zmires, gave me joy. Beveis Megure when I was a gate in Chutz La'aretz. Or a different pshat, which is not brought in Tanya, but is brought in other places in Chassidus, that Zmires is Miloshan L'Zamer Aritzim. Zmires, I was able to cut off my enemies through learning Torah. Zmires Hayelu Chokecha. By me learning Torah, I was cutting off my enemies. Beveis Megure was the Chutz La'aretz. So the Gemara says, David's Zmires Kares Lu. David HaMelech called Torah Zmires, punishing him. What was the punishment David HaMelech was given? Because he said Zmires. The punishment was that he forgot to have a Feidish halach, which Tineke Shal Beis Rabban, no, it's a Deiraisa, it's a Pasuk in Chumash. David HaMelech was the head of the Sanhedrin. David HaMelech was the only Melech who was also the Nasi. Shlomo HaMelech was not the Nasi of Sanhedrin. Chizkiyahu HaMelech was not the Nasi of Sanhedrin. The only Melech in Bayis Rishon who was also the Nasi was David. David the Beis Dinah. And David should forget, not Dvar Mishnah, but the Chazal say, Tabet Dvar Mishnah Chayzer. Tabet Dvar Mikra. He forgot a pasuk before the Chumash. This was the Einish for saying that Zmires Alech Al Beis Megure. What was the story? They were taking the Aron HaKodesh back to Yerushalayim. And you're supposed to carry the Aron HaKodesh on your shoulders. Moreover, when the Aron HaKodesh is carried, all the four people have to face the Aron and they have to stand on the inside of the Badim. In other words, when you carry the Shulchan and the Mizbeach, the two in the back faced the Shulchan and the two in the front faced away. They were walking forward. But the ones who carried the Aron all had to face the Aron and on the inside of the Badim. And David HaMelech put the Aron HaKodesh on a wagon. And the result was the Aron HaKodesh started to fall off. And a big tzaddik, a big goa named Uzzah, tried to stabilize it. And Abishai killed him on the spot. And David was very, very upset. He took it very personally. It was an einish to David. It was David Melech einish for calling Torah's midah. So the Rebbe said, I don't understand. First of all, what's the Aveda? And second of all, what's the midah keneged midah? He's like, Reis Aveda, call Torah's midah. He got chayes, Torah gave him a geschmack. Now for me and for you, that would be a great thing. But for David Melech Yisrael Chayvakayim, it was a big, great Aveda. The bottom line is that David Melech forgot a halacha. It was a punishment that he should forget a halacha. Forget a pasuk in Mefurish Chumash. Tenei Shal Beis Rabban Yod Neisa, the Gemara says. David wasn't shaykhas to such amaratzis. But the Haguf Akasha, why was David punished for saying Zmiris, and why is the punishment that he should forget this pasuk? This is what I was going to get us a Kiddush. Hine, Bezeh, it says in Zayah, Shvacha Deiraisa. It's the praise of the Torah and the song to the Eibishter that we learn the halachas of the Torah. What's the pshat in the Zayah? When you learn halachas, you're praising the Eibishter. How is there praise to the Eibishter? When this is us, this is mut. So the Rebbe answers, the answer is, the answer to this question is like it says in the pasuk, Magadlo Masecha. How great are the ways of the Eibishter in creating the world. However, his thoughts are excessively deep. The Eibishter's actions are very great, and his machshavas are very deep. What's the pshat? That's known. All of the worlds, the higher worlds and the lower worlds, that are all included, Magadlo Masecha, how awesome are the Eibishter's creations, are tluyim, they hang bediktuk mitzvah echad, in the detail of the nuance of one mitzvah. The Rachmasha, for example, a carbon kosher, if the carbon is kosher, nasi yichad alien, it affects the unity above. Ve'elim kol eilimus. And all of the worlds ascend l'kabach hayusam v'shifim to get life and flow. Each time one Jew does a mitzvah, the whole stage of the Shtashos is nourished by one act. V'im shina, the person makes a small mistake. For example, shekibel adam b'smeili, you took the blood with your left hand, that Rachmasha. You didn't use the kosher lishares. You held the kli with a shmata. You have the Gemara Masech the Psachim. The one that he used to eat with shiroi. He thanks the Gemara, and then he was punished. nothing happens. A small little detail of Allah is off. The whole aliyah of the Elamis and the whole chayef and the whole flow, which is supposed to be a mitzvah, doesn't happen. Why? Because it all depends on the details of mitzvahs. V'chein b'tfilin kasheres. The person that's kosher at tefillin, mezgal meichin al yen in the zone, it brings down the highest moichin of ze'irampin and nukva vatzilus, sheimocher achayim l'chol ha'elamis, which are the source of life for all the worlds. Ubediktuk echad, it's just one nuance from the tefillin that are apostle, nifsal the apostle, the tefillin become apostle, umistaklan talken ha'moichin, the moichin go away and nothing happens. Ukahai gavne bedikduke mitzvahs leisaseh. And the same is true in all the nuances of every aveda. A small discrepancy in the performance of the mitzvah, you accomplish nothing. A correct performance of a nuance of a mitzvah, you do the mitzvah correctly, it's mamshach who knows what. You do the mitzvah incorrectly, nothing happens. So David Melech was in a spall. Magodlo masech ad Hashem, the Eibush was so great, and machshavei the thoughts of Torah are so much deeper that one detail of Torah is choshev against the whole Seder Shtashos. He said, Zmires hayu l'chokecha b'veis megudei. Yiddishkeit is so amazing. It's so awesome that one nuance in Yiddishkeit supersedes the whole Seder Shtashos. And David HaMelech was very, very excited by how special it is to learn Torah. If one nuance in Torah is chashuv, you don't say there's tashlis. So if you learn 1,000 nuances in Torah, it's unbelievable, and it gave him joy. He got tainuk from the fact that he saw that Torah is bigger than the world. That's all. Zog der Rebbe, therefore, hamizbeinin magod lo masi ad Hashem. The person thinks how great the Eibishter's deeds are. Shabariyu ha'elam is a choltzavam. How many worlds there are and how many things exist in these worlds and so forth. And then he's also mizbeinin. They're all totally insignificant in their form. Compared to one nuance of the nuances of Torah, which is the depth of Eibish's machshava, and the wisdom of the Eibishter. With one small nuance that's good. All the world ascend, to get life and flow. And if it's off by one nuance, nothing happens. Says the Rebbe, think about the power of the Torah. This leads us to contemplate Gedulas, Eimek, Machshavta, Yizbarach. The greatness and the depth of the thought of the Eibishter. It's infinite and it's beyond purpose. And its level is is beyond a limit and beyond the purpose. When compared to the life of all of the worlds, because all the life of all of the worlds flows from one nuance of the Torah, which comes from the source, which is the Torah, which is the depth of the Eibishter's thought. So the Alter Rebbe says, David HaMelech was mispal. He said, when I thought about the Torah, that Magod lo Masech Hashem, the word was unbelievably great, and still made Amka Machshav Misach, was mispal, and it gave him a geshmak. Like the hairs of a person, which comes from his mind, a way of analogy, and each hair has life in it. Like it's known from Kabbalah, from Zayar and from the Idra, from the Kurim and from Idra Zabba. And V'zeis Hoisa Simchas David HaMelech Olav HaShalom, and this is what he got joy from. Shoyim Mezamer Umeranin. He was singing and davening and praising. To bring gladness to his heart in his tzara through learning Torah. So Torah Pasha gave him geshmak. It made him feel happy. That's the whole word.